Want to speak real Russian from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at RussianPod101.com.
Hi everyone, this is me, Katusha, with you and RussianPod101.com. So today we're going to be talking about 10 ways how to remember words. So my 10 suggestions to you how to deal with Russian and make it easier to remember Russian words. Prepare yourself. It's not going to be easy to repeat these sentences because they're a little bit big, but I will help you to deal with it. So let's begin. Читая как можно больше, особенно газеты, я запоминаю слова. Reading as much as possible, especially newspapers, helps me to remember words. You know, they say if you can read a newspaper of the language you're learning, it means you're getting closer to being native level. So if you can understand just a little bit, because the reading newspaper is much harder than reading any other literature. So newspapers could actually help you deepen your knowledge of the language you're trying to learn. Я говорю как можно чаще с носителями языка. I speak as often as possible with native speakers. I talk to myself in a mirror. Maybe find some coffee conversations with like a language exchange with someone. So you can meet native speakers of the language, like in our case is Russian. Я изучаю корни слов и как различные слова связаны друг с другом. I learn about the roots of words and how different words are connected to each other. It may help you to understand where the word is coming from, and sometimes we have one word that could be the main for creating another word. So, of course, it could be easier for you. And especially we have many words from other languages, and so knowing those words could also help you speak Russian more fluent. Я произношу слова вслух, чтобы я мог их услышать. I say words out loud so I could hear myself. For example, when you hear me speaking, if you put me on a pause and try to repeat after me and say it out loud, you can see the difference as you say it and I say it, so it makes you closer to the native pronunciation. So please try that, even if it looks ridiculous and you're staring at yourself in the mirror. Я слушаю песни и запоминаю слова. I listen to songs and I memorize lyrics. Yes, it's one an easy way to learn traditional like song. First of all, you learn culture of the language you're learning, because in songs there are a lot of things what people of that country are thinking about and they want to say out loud to the world, right? So memorizing songs is a very great idea. Я стараюсь думать на русском языке, чтобы это стало естественной частью моего мыслительного процесса. I try to think in Russian so it becomes natural to my thought process. In Russian it sounded really long. I'm sorry, guys. So, of course, this is how you know your language is getting better, because you actually start thinking in your not native language. So, if you start thinking to yourself in Russian, congratulations! You're going great. Я упорно практикуюсь каждый день, разговаривая со своей семьей и собаками, даже несмотря на то, что они меня не понимают. I am persistent in practicing every day by talking to my family and my dogs, even though they don't understand me. Okay, I know this is a crazy idea. And you can get a crazy reaction from your family and from your dogs. So yeah, be ready to see very funny faces, very surprised reactions. But if it helps you practice your language, why not? Я использую метод повторения. Читаю, пишу и произношу слова снова и снова. I use repetition method, reading, writing, and speaking words again and again. Of course, if you want to work on your pronunciation, you can do that, but if you write it down, better write down in the combination of other words or like a sentence, so it helps you to understand this word inside the context, so it will be easier for you to remember it. Otherwise, if you just write down one word or say one word out loud, it's not going to connect it with anything else, so you could just easily forget it, I think. So better use it with some other words or expressions or just sentences. Я пытаюсь использовать новое слово в простом предложении, поэтому я учу целые фразы, а не только слова. I try to use a new word in a simple sentence, so I learn whole phrases, not just individual words. This is what I just mentioned in a previous example, I think. So yes, try learning as a whole phrase instead of just a word. It will help you definitely. Я стараюсь использовать язык регулярно в повседневной жизни. I try to use the language regularly in daily life. Yeah, so try from hello, from how are you, как дела, привет, хорошо, я тоже, а ты, and you. So you can keep saying same things and then you will see how naturally it goes out by itself. So it was 10 ways to remember words, and me, Katusha, trying hard to help you and remember Russian words. So stick to our advice and don't forget to subscribe. Talk to you later. Пока-пока.